Good afternoon. Welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. Give me a second while I welcome our Spanish-speaking neighbors. Buenas tardes. Gracias por estar con nosotros esta tarde. Si quieren acceso al programa en español, por favor, marcan el número 425-436-6200. 425-436-6200, el número que aparece en la pantalla. Cuando contestan la llamada, compartan el contraseña, el código que empieza con el número 6, que es 627-682, y van a estar comunicándose por teléfono de conferencia a nuestra intérpreta Miranda, que va a estar trayéndole el programa en español. Thank you for joining us this Thursday, May 7th, 2020. We are very happy to be with you once again. My name is Tammy Rivera. I'm the Executive Director and Lead Organizer for Southside Organizing Center, or SOC, or SOC, however you like to refer to us over the years. Today we have a great program for you on this online forum. I want to thank our forum team. This is our first week doing production in-house. Marisol, our communications manager, is behind the scenes making sure that we can be with you. Edith, our forum coordinator, is doing all the arrangements, the scheduling, the guests. Gabe, our civic engagement manager, she is ready to do backup in case any of us aren't able to fulfill our roles. Andrea is on Facebook Live, sharing all the information that we have here in the comments to make sure that you can connect in every way. And the rest of the staff is on all our different platforms that you can reach us. So you can reach Clarissa at our phone, 672-8090. You can reach the rest of the team, Travis, Carlos, etc., via email, soc@socmilwaukee.org. You can reach Taylor there as well. So I hope I didn't miss anyone this time. Our staff has grown enormously. We're very happy that our funding partners have allowed us to have even greater service to you, our neighbors in the community. Today, I'd like to share that we have our regular segments to bring to you. We're going to give you an update on the coronavirus, information, resources, and ways you can take action. We're going to share what's happening in civic engagement, including our elected offices and paying attention to what's happening at the state, county, and municipal level in terms of the situation we find ourselves in the pandemic. We'll be always bringing you information about the census. There's not a lot of time here. We're already in May to get that done. And then we want to bring our program features and our staff on here and our resident leaders so that you understand all the programs and services that are here for you. We want to make sure you have a voice, that you have a vote, and you have a vehicle to organize in the community. And so I want to remind us of all the great things that are happening on the forum here. We're with you Monday through Friday at 3 here on Facebook Live. Today we have Laura Hernandez. We were sharing that Mariana Rodriguez was going to be with us, but we've had a change from the Latina Resource Center, and they still are with us, but Laura Hernandez is going to be with us today. Tomorrow, we have Pedro Hernandez from the Legal Aid Society. I have no idea if they're related. So I'll see if I have any questions about that, but I have no idea. And he's going to be talking to us about what's happening and what can and can't happen around evictions and foreclosures, among the other services that they offer the community. And then next Tuesday, we have Rob Smith, the chair of the County Human Rights Commission with us. And again, exciting news next week, Congresswoman Moore will be with us on Wednesday. So we're super excited about bringing to you our local leaders and experts on the topics that are most concerning us these days. I want to remind you of some important deadlines. Today is the last day that you can nominate a community member for a $2,400 scholarship to SOC's Leadership Institute. That is for any leader of a resident association in our district. That is for members of those resident associations who want to take on more responsibility. That is for folks in the community who are really taking the lead on issues and projects. And we want to make sure we come alongside you and get you connected with our great teachers and coaches there. We have some great lineup of legacy and veteran civil rights leaders and organizers and subject matter experts who will be sharing, their wisdom with you, and we'll be doing work. It's not just study, it's about practicing organizing. And so the series has three aspects to it. One is to address your own personal leadership, you leading your life, and then you leading in groups. And then the other part of that is how to build a resident association collectively with your neighbors from the ground up, grassroots up. And then third is being trained as an organizer, how to understand power, how to understand the civic system, how it works, how to negotiate, how to understand what role you're playing in the community and other folks are playing in the community. A really important training. And when you get a scholarship to the Gold Institute, the Grassroots Organizing Leadership Development Institute at SOC, you'll get a free scholarship also to our annual Grassroots Organizing Conference and an almost completely covered scholarship to attend an intense weekend organizing training by one of our strategic partners, Wisconsin Leadership Development. So it has so much value, and you just come to the Institute once a month and then continue to work on whatever is your passion in between those times. So you don't want to miss that. Today's the last deadline. You can nominate a person. You'll send that nomination to gold@socmilwaukee.org. You can call us as well. You can send it via Facebook if you want, if that's easier for you as well. And then two other deadlines we want to remind you of. This Friday, tomorrow, it starts our Mother's Day dedication broadcast. And we're going to have a beautiful slideshow. There we go. We have a beautiful slideshow that we want to honor moms on. And so you'll be able to have your picture of your mom, or if you want your mom's picture on there in our slideshow, you need to take a picture of mom filling out the census and submit it to us. You can do that at our regular email, soc@socmilwaukee.org. You can submit it via Facebook as well. A quick picture, you can do that on your phone. And then if you want to include a dedication, something sweet you want to tell your mom, we'll include that as well. And then on top of, blessing your mom with a photo, this is a perfect example of a mom with her two kids and her census sheet. And this is exactly what we're looking. It could be as easy as that. It could be a selfie, etc. And if you submit that, we'll put that in our broadcast. We'll include the dedication from you, and your mom gets entered into a drawing for $50. So a great way to bless your mom. Then the last deadline I want to share with you is Saturday is the deadline for youth ages 14 up to 24 to apply for a paid summer employment with Milwaukee Employ. You have to fill out the application, and if you live in our district and you qualify, you can request to be interviewed with us and be placed with us. Right now we have, this summer we'll have 20 spots. We started with 5. year before last, and this last year we doubled to 10, and this next year we're doubling the 20. We have about half of those slots filled with our year-round youth. So please do fill out that application and start now, because sometimes you have to chase that birth certificate down or other documents they need to apply. You can do this all online. Today and tomorrow is the only day really offices are open if you have to chase any of those documents. So you want to start now. And the best way to get going is to contact Taylor, our youth coordinator. Let her know you're interested, and she can come alongside you and help you fill out that application and chase down any of those documents you need. She can help you do that. And so you can reach Taylor at Taylor, Taylor, at socmilwaukee.org, or you can call the office and we'll get you connected. We'd love to have your youth with us. The youth work on their personal leadership, academic and career leadership, and community leadership. It's an incredible program. It's really takes on just a beautiful, powerful program in the summer, and then we've been able to maintain it year round, along with the students studying. For example, our youth right now, we were able to get them working virtually just right after our staff, and we're helping them to work on their studies because of the pandemic, and they're getting paid. And so imagine the value that they have now on their portfolios because they've had a virtual work experience. And so that's the kind of stuff we're doing in our youth programming that you want your kids to be part of. So please do get those in. Mother's Day by noon tomorrow, the youth employment by Saturday, and today, the last day that you can nominate someone for that $2,400 scholarship to our Gold Institute. Before we get started, I want to say a disclaimer. All organizations, our type of nonprofit, can be involved in some activities and not others. That's one reason I want to share a disclaimer. But the other thing is, we're really committed to having a venue for our residents to express themes that are of interest and concern to them. And not always can we sign off on that, right? But we want to include the venue. So want to share here that the view and opinions shared in the show aren't necessarily those that reflect SOCs, just to make that clear and be transparent with everyone. So with that, I'd like to invite our first guest, Laura Hernandez from the Latina Resource, to join us and share what's going on. Hola, Laura.
Hola, Tammy. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We're really happy that you are here with us. I have been talking to Mariana about this issue, which is very concerning, the risk of heightened domestic violence and sexual assault because of people being confined together in one home. So, Laura, we have about 20, 30 minutes to talk about the issue and talk about what people can do to be more aware that it's happening, what they can do to help, and what people who are experiencing it can do to be safer. Let's talk about the issue, and then we'll see if we have any other specific questions, and then I'd like you to share some resources with folks. So talk to us, what's happening that you guys are aware of, you all are aware of, in terms of domestic violence and sexual assault during the pandemic and safer at home order.
Yeah, so we've seen that domestic violence has always been a huge issue, especially in our Latinx community. But now with the coronavirus and the pandemic, we know that abusers may feel a little bit more isolated or even more isolated. They may be with abusers and may be feeling like there's no way out. So it's important for us to share that organizations like ours are still here to serve and to ensure their safety and well-being. And I can speak for our agency and what we are doing specifically to keep victims safe. So we want to continue to be as accessible as possible to anyone who may want to explore their options. And although we are limiting our face-to-face interactions, we are still here to support victims at the capacity that we can. And of course, following safety, health measures, and what that looks like in the moment at our specific organization is doing mostly everything over the phone with clients. So it's so important for us to share that we do have a 24-hour support line where victims, people can reach us at. And I can share that as well. It's on the screen. It's 414-389-6510, and there's advocates available to speak with anyone or just to answer any questions that you may have. We want to make sure that everyone has the adequate and proper information. So if you just feel like you have a question, just feel free to call. It's again 24 hours, so an advocate will be able to speak with you.
The services that you provide are also in English and in Spanish, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So anyone who speaks English or Spanish can reach out. And so you're saying those who are experiencing this have an increased exposure or risk to experiencing abuse because it's more confined and they have more time in the home?
Correct. Yeah. So with everything being with the safer at home order, if a person feels like they're experiencing they're with an abuser, they can always reach our support line. And then if they want to just talk about options, I think that many people feel like there's no options because of that, but we want to make sure and clarify that there are options still available, that our doors are open, whether it's helping a victim find housing options to get away from abuse and working to allocate them in a safe place like a shelter, assisting them with filing restraining orders. That's all that still happening. We can safety plan with them, walk them through the process of reporting to police, provide them with, again, adequate information, and just connecting them to community resources that they may benefit from. We are here to help and just help them navigate through that process.
That's great. And you are located here locally in Milwaukee?
Yeah, so we currently just changed in the beginning of the year. For years, we were located on 8th and Mitchell, but we are now located on 2701 South Chase Avenue, and that's Suite D. So that's just right next door to the DMV.
Yeah, and part of the UMOS greater organization,
Yeah.
right there, housed with their headquarters and their service center there. What are some of the things that we should be paying attention to, Laura, as friends or families or co-workers of folks? What are some signs that tell us folks are going through this?
Yeah. So we talk about the red flags that exist in abusive relationships, the lack of communication, uh, just reaching out to people when an abuser doesn't allow you to reach out even to family members, talk, speak with family members. That's always a huge red flag. So it's always important for us to share these resources. I know many people who may be watching this and feel like it doesn't um, relate to them, but it's always important just to have this information and these resources for family, friends who may not have the courage right now to speak up that they are in an abusive relationship. And also, we are on Facebook. It's also important for people just to share, like our page. We're constantly just updating information. And again, some people may feel like this information doesn't relate to them, but it's important for us to just look out for each other and share the information because you just never know who might come across this information.
Yeah, when I first came to SOC in 2015, at that time, the captain of District 2 was now Chief Morales.
Mhm,
And when I had my first meeting with him, I asked him, Captain, what are the two most critical safety issues
mhm.
that we have on the South Side? And the number one issue he shared was domestic violence. And so that continues to be a critical concern. And it gives us an indication of how much abuse is happening in the community, even if we don't think it affects us, when it's the number one um, violence issue on the near South Side. Now we're talking about our district. And so what I hear you saying, Laura, is if you see that people are not like shutting down communication, that's a red flag. Are there any other red flags besides that, being isolated, not communicating, that we should be cognizant of?
I think right now we are a lot of us still have access to internet and our phones, and we're able to do things like these to connect virtually. And so even though we may not have that opportunity, especially for victims, to say, "Oh, you know, I'm going to the store," and it's their chance of getting like the resources or the help that they can get. We still have the internet and, like I said, the phones. So if you feel I think it's super important just to check in with people. I mean, those red flags, one of them, like I said, I mentioned, is the lack of communication with family members, friends, etc. And then also just that control, that power and control that we see with people. Um, Oftentimes, if you're calling a victim, and victims can again be women and men, and you know their partner, the person that they're in a relationship with answers the phone for them, little things like that, that I think we as individuals, we have that intuition where we know something may be a little bit off, especially if we really know this person. And just to be cognizant and watch out for those little things. Like I said, right now we just have to have each other's backs and support each other in the best way that we can, and to share that organizations like domestic violence organizations like ours are still here to help people.
And that are culturally competent and speak folks' language and understand the nuances of the Latino culture, to help navigate that. Do we have any resources if there is a batter who's listening, or someone who knows someone where they can get help to stop the abuse? Do we have any resources available for them? Do you have any of that?
Uh, for we so our organization is very victim centered, so we always
Mhm.
just help victims. With regards to batters resources, one off the top of my head that I can think of, I'm not sure, and anyone who is listening who may want to correct me if I'm wrong, is the Alma Center. Um, that's just one off the top of my head. Like I said, that it
I'm
goes.
I'm gonna ask Lottie, who's one of our staff, if she can share in the comments. We have an organization that's in the same building as we are, who works with batterers, um, and that's another aspect that we have to tackle this issue from all perspectives in order to move forward with
Absolutely.
it. And so share again your contact information, Laura, for anyone who wants to help someone in this situation or someone who's experiencing it.
Yes, so we have like you said, a bilingual um, support line, 20-hour support line. You can call at 414-389-6510. And then you can also like us on Facebook and just search us under UMOS Latina Resource Center.
And they can communicate with you there as well, correct?
Yes, an
A-
advocate will be surely to answer any questions and help you navigate and find those resources for you.
Let me see if we have any questions here for you.
Okay.
So Glady was sharing the program for batterers is called Better Ways, Better Days. Maybe we can get that phone number for folks, or that contact information. Let me look real quick if we have any questions. I'm going to say hello to all of our super followers and neighbors in a second. We've shared the number there. Laura, thank you so much for being with us today, just to share the face, one of the faces at the Latina Resource Center, which makes it just more comfortable and more familiar to reach out. Thank everyone at UMOS and the Latina Resource Center for us, and we look forward to having you back here in a little while as well, just to keep the issue in front of us all as we're here in our safer at home um, process.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tammy.
Have a great rest of your day. Be
Thank
safe.
you.
We have partnered with the Latina Resource Center in the past and UMOS, so we're glad to have them on with us. And then we're going to have the rest of our coronavirus update now as well. So if we can have that, that would be great.
Hi everyone, my name is Taylor and I'm the Coronavirus Coordinator with Southside Organizing Center. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Community Live Forum, and thank you so much for joining me on the coronavirus segment. What I want you to do is drop a question below in the comment section, any questions that you have regarding the coronavirus. Do you have questions about where you can get free food, what food pantries are open? Do you have questions about housing, about domestic violence and what you can do? Do you have questions about unemployment or your stimulus check? Any questions that you have, just make sure you drop them below. We want to make sure that we're serving you, and we want to make sure that we're asking or finding out the information for the questions that you have. This community forum is all for you. We want to make sure that we're keeping you up to date what's going on in our state and what's going on in our communities. So just to let you know that Governor Evers yesterday announced that the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is launching a new tool. So it is an interactive app or interactive map that makes it easier for you to access any testing sites throughout the state. This searchable map will provide you with any testing site locations, contact information that you need, hours that the testing site will be open, and guidance on how to schedule an appointment. The Department of Health Services will update this map every single day to notify you about any new testing sites in the communities throughout the state. They do encourage anyone with symptoms that include cough, shortness of breath, fever, chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, or a new loss of taste or smell to call your doctor and get tested. This map will be on our SOC website at socmilwaukee.org, and we'll also drop the link in the comments below so you can be able to access that at any time. I know that a lot of you have also had some questions about housing and foreclosures and evictions. You want to know, am I protected right now? So Governor Evers did declare a temporary ban on evictions and foreclosures. So that means that if you cannot pay rent right now, your landlord cannot evict you. However, your landlord can evict you if another person is in physical danger, if you are not evicted, or your lease ends and you don't leave. It also means that if you own a home and you cannot pay your mortgage, the bank cannot foreclose your house. If your house was foreclosed recently, the sheriff's office cannot sell it. And the bank can foreclose your house if you do abandon it. So this order is in place and protecting you. It started on March 27th and it goes until May 26th. The end date can change, however, it is through May 26th right now. Do you still have to pay your rent or mortgage right now? Yes, you must pay your rent or mortgage if you cannot pay right now. This order does protect you from being evicted right now, but you must pay as soon as you can. What happens when this order ends? If you do not pay your rent or mortgage for April and May, your landlord can evict you after the May 26th deadline for this order, and the bank can foreclose your house. However, right now, you are protected through May 26th. So if that does get extended, we'll keep you up to date with any housing information that we receive. So this was declared by Governor Evers. All this information is available in English and in Spanish on our website at socmilwaukee.org, so you can read over the emergency order for yourself. Again, I do encourage you to drop a question below. Let us know what you think. We do a daily gift card drawing if you fill out our survey. So fill it out. It takes, honestly, like 2 minutes. Let us know. You can win every single day. As you saw yesterday, no one won just because no one filled out the survey. So if you just go ahead and watch this and you fill out the survey, you'll be entered to win that gift card. Again, drop your questions below. Thank you so much for joining us on our coronavirus segment. I'm going to pass it back to Tammy. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Taylor is our coronavirus coordinator. She's also our youth coordinator. Let me say some hellos and check for questions. Hola, Miranda. Miranda asked Paula to join us, and Paula did join us. Hola, Paula. Lizzie Brooks is here. I see some of our staff. Mari is here. How do we nominate people? You can send your nomination to gold@socmilwaukee.org. Just say, hey, I nominate this person. I think they'd be great for the Leadership Institute. And here's their contact information that I have. And she wants Stephanie. Stephanie spends a lot of time with SOC, is a good friend, personal and professional. Hola, Jetty's back with us. Barbara, hola, Barbara. Yes, you can nominate yourself. Absolutely. Maribel, happy birthday to Ivelisse. Let's see who else. Jeanette Cortez. Can anyone get tested? They are testing, if I understood correctly, Taylor's messages from this week, sharing from the original sources that we have. It's folks who have symptoms, but you should contact your health provider and ask them about their testing requirements, because that's not, that may differ from provider to provider. Are there, Jetty, are there any availability to get gloves or mask in area 53204? We'll try to get that answer for you, Jetty. We have a special promotion that's taking place. It is our social distancing cleanups in your area, covers your area. And if you sign up for a cleanup, you get a little kit that comes with a mask and gloves. So that's another reason why you want to do a cleanup. And that's for folks who are going to completely comply with the safer at home order. So if you're already going out for a walk to get some sun and fresh air in your block, we're asking you then just clean up your block. That'll help the community stay cleaner and safer, and a safer community. A cleaner community actually also is one of the signs of crime reductions. So we really want to encourage you all to go ahead and clean your block. And so that's one person or family, one bag of garbage, and one block for one cleaner community. And then you can sign up for that at our website. And Travis is leading that effort. And he will get you, him or one of the organizers, whichever one services your area, will do a no person contact drop off of a cleanup kit for you. When you're done with that, you get the mask and the gloves there. But when you're done with your cleanup and you post a picture and fill out a survey, you also get a certificate to one of the attractions in Milwaukee, a free certificate like the zoo or etc. This is in partnership with our Keeping Greater Milwaukee Beautiful. Drea said she just got 2 nominations right away. So keep up that coming, and we'll see if anybody else is sharing where we can get masks and gloves at this time. Thank you again, Taylor, and all of you for participating, and Taylor for reminding us it's so easy to enter our daily drawing for $25 gift certificate, and it helps our residents who are going through some financial strains. But remember, it's also helping our business community when you fill it out, because you get to choose a local business that supports SOC, and then that means they get more business. And so it's a win-win-win for everybody. So you want to do it. With that, I'd like to invite our Civic Engagement Manager, Gabe Charles, to join us and give us some updates.
Hello, hello.
Hola, Gabe. I like how you're mixing up the backgrounds for us.
I know. Depends on which part of my house is actually unoccupied at the time. So living with people and trying to do lives or any video meeting is always fun. So I'm sure we're all going through that during this time. So for everyone to know, there is still no update from the Wisconsin Supreme Court based on about their decision on what they're going to do with the safer at home order, deciding whether it was constitutional or not for the safer at home order to get extended. So we're waiting for that information still. But what I do have for you is a report that was released yesterday by the Milwaukee County COVID-19 Epidemiology Intel team that analyzed coronavirus cases related to the April 7th election. The report states that a total of 54 Milwaukee County residents who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 were identified to have participated in the election. This number was populated based on their lab report confirmation date, so the day that they got a positive coronavirus test result, their symptom onset date, so the date that they started experiencing symptoms, and their responses to questions about election participation. And then it only included people that had a symptom onset date on or before April 21st. And I just want to read a little bit directly from that report to reiterate the difficulty of understanding the true scope of the effect of the election on coronavirus cases. Only half of total confirmed COVID-19 cases during this time responded to questions about participating in the election, which leaves a lot of uncertainty. Due to limitations in testing and asymptomatic cases, it is likely that there are individuals with COVID-19 who participated in the election and are not reflected in the numbers presented here. So of all the COVID-19 positive cases during this time frame, only half of people actually responded to whether or not they participated in the election in some way. So this 54 number could actually be doubled. But it could absolutely be higher than what it actually is. And then also, if they're only including people that showed symptoms on or before April 21st, they're not tracing those infected by people who were infected at the election. So this idea of contact tracing, if they're not looking beyond April 21st, then we're not seeing who was infected based on who got infected at the election, if that makes sense. So this could make the cases related to the election even bigger or broader. Of the confirmed cases related to the election, the vast majority were from the city of Milwaukee. So this was a countywide report, but not surprisingly, the vast majority were from the city of Milwaukee, the confirmed cases. 81.5% were from the city of Milwaukee, and most were Black. 59.3% of those confirmed cases were Black residents. 50% started experiencing symptoms prior to April 9th, which indicates that they were likely infectious at the time of voting. And then of individuals diagnosed with COVID-19 who took part in the election in person, 8 are currently hospitalized, and thankfully 0 have died. Hopefully it stays that way. Another interesting piece of data that came out of the report is that 29 of the individuals, so 29 of the 54, do not have any other known potential exposures to COVID-19, which would include being a healthcare worker, having traveled recently, or having contact with someone who is COVID-19 positive. So we know that at least 29 people for sure didn't have other exposures other than the election. And then in other news, I want people to know that also I'm pretty sure this isn't the report we were anticipating from the Milwaukee Health Department. So there's going to be other perspectives coming out as well. And we'll definitely keep everyone posted with that as more information comes out as usual. In other news, I want to let people know that tomorrow there's going to be a special meeting of the Common Council, and they're going to be voting on the plan to address the fiscal crisis of the city. So I mentioned yesterday that there was the special meeting of the Finance and Personnel Committee, and they came out with a recommended resolution to offset the estimated loss of $26.5 million in city revenue. And this plan is going to reduce or suspend certain city services, and then it will also furlough or partially lay off 260 city employees and reduce the hours of 500 more. So that meeting of the Common Council to approve or to vote on this plan, so either approve or deny this plan, will happen tomorrow at 9 a.m. And as always, I encourage all of you to attend this meeting virtually, and you can do in city.milwaukee.gov/city channel. That's city.milwaukee.gov/city channel, and then you'll click the red button that says channel 25, and it will lead you to the live feed of the meeting. And then you can also get to the recorded video after it if you can't make it at 9 a.m. That is always available afterwards as well. So encourage everyone to attend that meeting and just get to see the process of what a Common Council meeting looks like if you have never watched one before. They can be long, but you really learn a lot each time you watch one. So always encouraging folks to tune into those types of meetings. And why don't you comment on our live feed here if you're going to watch it, or if you're going to watch out for information that comes out from it. And with that, I just want to mention again the census promotion for this week with Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. We saw some really, yes, this flyer is beautiful. Thank you, Marisol. You are so talented. So this flyer lets us know that you can win $50 or be entered for the chance to win $50 if you send in a picture with your mother or you with your children doing the census. And we saw an example of what that looked like with our lovely Drea, who took a picture with her beautiful babies there, and the pup. Such a nice touch. Love seeing that. And if you send those pictures in with a message, we will feature them on a slideshow on Friday. So please fill out your census, send us those pictures. I love seeing these sorts of pictures during this time. So for me personally, I just want to see your pictures, so send them in. But yeah, with that, I will leave you with some more additional inspirational videos about the census and another fun novela clip. So enjoy, and I will be with you all tomorrow.
We are doctors, lawyers, teachers, and students. We are daughters, mothers, tías, and hermanas. We are the product of generations of hard work and sacrifice. We live here. We work here. We will be counted here. Our presence is power. Get counted in the 2020 census.
That's woman. I know she did the census.
But that's a good thing.
How can you say that?
Well, people in power want you to believe that you should hunt. But no, we have to be strong. We have to be counted. Otherwise, it's like nothing happens.
Even if we are undocumented?
Of course, it's completely confidential.
Even if I water the neighbor's clothes that she hung to dry?
I'm sure that she will forgive you if you get counted.
Thank you, Gabe, for that update. Mai is asking, can you please post a link to the hearing, the Common Council hearing? As I assume what she's asking, because that's helpful. If we post that on our Facebook, then people can just follow that. I'm sure we can make that happen. Mariana, a great suggestion. She said she did that with the Supreme Court hearing, and that she found that with her network that was influential. Thank you. Enjoying also the census creative videos very much. I'd like to share a couple of other announcements that you need to know. One is We have, I've shared this all along with you that we haven't missed a day with you. All of our staff, our canvassers, and our youth organizers went virtual, are working virtually. And so you may be receiving a call from SOC, we call them care calls, to make sure you're okay, make sure that you have any questions answered regarding the coronavirus safer at home order, helping you to navigate information. That's why we created a whole web page dedicated to resources, trying to organize all that information that changes so often for you. And so if you get a call, know that our youth organizers and our canvassers are doing those care calls. In addition to that, we want to make sure that we're capturing everyone's experiences from the election. Did you not feel safe enough to vote? We want to know that. If you did feel, if you did take the risk because you had a conviction to vote, did you run into any problems, or was there any confusion, etc.? Why? One is, well, we have really critical concerns about why the election was still held. But now what's important is, how can we prevent this for the November election? And we need the information to be able to share with folks about your experiences. We don't stay on the line long. It's a couple, we're really there for you. So we try to get your needs met, and then we do quick surveys so that we can get information to help the situation be better for you and your family member, friends, and neighbors. So know that if you're concerned about who's calling you, you want to verify if it's SOC, you can always call our number and say, hey, I'm on the phone with, or I just got a phone call from whoever the person's name, whatever the number is, and we can verify if that's one of our staff. So those are the things we're putting in place to let you know that we are here for you. The other thing that we're doing is we have a partnership with Pulso, which has like a channel on Messenger, and we sent out a message via Messenger trying to connect you with coronavirus information, resources, and ways you can take action. So if you see one of our staff or one of our leaders and it says Pulso on Messenger, yes, that's SOC working with Pulso in that channel to get you a whole nother way of getting you information as quick as we can, and getting you the most up-to-date information. So just letting you know how we're out in the community, because we can't be with you in person yet. So that's SOC on the phone, and you can verify that, and that's SOC on Messenger via Pulso. And the first message we sent out was about that, and we have another message coming out soon as well. We want you to participate, and when you get that, all we're asking is that you share it, maybe with 10 family or friends, because you may not need the information, but someone else might. So it's really important to share. The other thing I wanted to share is tonight, SOC is going to be with WTMJ Channel 4 at 6 o'clock. They're having a town hall, and they've invited us to be one of the panelists there. So if you have the opportunity, tune in, Channel 4 at 6 o'clock. The topic is the coronavirus. And so we have the privilege of participating in that panel. Shout out to Shannon Sims and Amiga, who made the invitation, and we will be there. Before we end, I want to remind you of there's so many great things. During hard times is a really test of people's character and a test of organizational character. And so we want you to know the board and the staff has poured out their best during this time. And that's why we're able to do all this programming. So again, if you have safety concerns, we're still running our safety program, and you can call that in and we can look into that and problem solve. We have the One Clean Community campaign. You can do a cleanup and get a whole packet without any personal contact. We have the Mom's Day promo that has to be in by 12 tomorrow at noon, sharing a picture of a mom doing the census. We'll get and you can send a message, and that's going to be in a beautiful broadcast tomorrow. We have our Civic updates and our census and our COVID-19 webpage for you. And we're doing canvassing calls and those messengers. So all kinds of ways. Also, today's the last day to nominate a community member, even yourself, for a $2,400 scholarship to our Leadership Institute. And Saturday is the last day youth can apply to the city's Earn and Learn program. And when you do that, and you want to get that done as soon as possible, because there's less spaces open every year than the number of youth that apply. So the sooner you get in and verified, the more sure you are available, are able to get through and get youth employment. Barbara is asking how many scholarships are available. Every year we have 24 cohorts, so fellows. There are 24 spots there. We have about 9 resident associations we currently work with, and so the priority is to get the spots, the people who are working in or want to work with resident associations or are working with specific issues in the community. But apply, even if we get more than the spots we have available, if someone were to drop out. But also, if we have more people who want it than we are funded for, that's an opportunity to to come back to funders and tell them there's a greater need than we have the capacity for. Hola, Lily, good to see you. And so lots of things happening. Before I end the program, we're reminded of the families who are suffering under abuse. Our thoughts and prayers, and hopefully help to you with today's program, and also to the family and friends of those who have tested COVID positive, or who have passed away. The update on that is in Milwaukee County. There have been about there almost 20,000 folks tested. Of those, 3,600 positive. And what you need to know about those positives are about a little over 800 are Latinos, a little over 900 are whites, and a little over 1,400 are African American neighbors. And I was looking at the numbers, and there's about 500 cases of those split between the ages of 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. That's a lot. And the trajectory is still looking up. Out of the deaths, there's been 203 deaths. 15 have been Latino AX, 85 whites, and 100 African American. And I was looking at, like, how do those deaths line up in terms of numbers. 16 of those deaths are for people in their 50s, 38 in their 60s, 64 in their 70s, and 75 in their 80s. And the thing that hits me about that is, yeah, very sad. We have to pray and we have to act on this stopping the spread, which if you look at the ages of that, it's really like, do you want to lose your grandparents? A lot of those ages in the 70s and 80s, and how much affection we have for abuelitos and abuelitas. And so, you know, that's what's at stake when we make the decisions that we're making as a community and when the elected officials. And so let's keep that in mind. Let's keep all the families in prayer as well, those that have family members with the illness and those who have passed, and also the people who are having a hard time being isolated. And you know, it's a trauma to everyone. And so a lot of mercy and grace we have to show each other, a lot of prayers and a lot of cooperation. With that, we want to thank everyone for being with us and remind you to be with us tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic is evictions, and we have legal aid with us. And so please make sure to be with us. It might not apply to you, but there are going to be a lot of people, and we've already gotten calls and seen messages about folks and evictions or foreclosures. And as you heard Taylor say earlier, the governor took action, and locally there's been action taken to protect folks during this time. And so you want to hear about that. Lily, Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Jetty, prayers for the community and their families. Lily, God bless. Stay safe. Okay, so please be with us tomorrow. Don't forget, next week, Tuesday, we have Rob Smith, the chair of the Human Rights Commission. Wednesday, Congresswoman Moore. And so we want to thank everyone. We also want to thank the funders who allow us, who partner with us to make sure that we're here for you. And with that, we'd like to bring on our thank you section. Be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock with Zach.
One more thing. We need to announce our 20. Oh, hello, everyone. I always forget that nobody sees me. I'm in the background. Before we head out, I want to quickly just remind everybody that the Mother's Day photo thing, we want to get that turned in by tomorrow, at least by noon, so that we can get it on our slideshow. We're so excited to see your photos. And the other thing is, make sure to fill out the survey. It's 5 questions. It's in the comments section. The link is there. You could click on it right now. Do it right now. I promise you, it's really quick. And it enters you into a drawing for a $25 gift certificate. And the Mother's Day one enters you for a $50 gift certificate drawing. So make sure to do those 2 things. And we want to announce the winner. You want me to do it or you?
Go ahead, Marisol.
All right.
Since I forgot about it.
That's all right. I'm here. So the $25 gift certificate winner for today is Monica Rodriguez. Monica, reach out to us at soc@socmilwaukee.org to claim your certificate.
Hey, Monica. Gracias, Marisol.
Bye.
This is how you know, like, we're all in this together. All right. Now we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock with Zach.
Hello, SOC viewers. I'm Kimberly. I'm a youth organizer with SOC. We would like to thank everyone for supporting our 3 o'clock with SOC live show and for completing our SOC survey. In addition to thanking our residents for tuning in and sharing our show, we would also like to thank the following sponsors: Wisconsin Voices Community Development, Block Grant, Neo Philosophy, State Infractional Fund, Movement Voter Project, Catholic Pageant for Human Development, Zipper Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Ties Foundation, City of Milwaukee Promise Zones, all of the faithful individuals who supported SOC through their personal donations. Thank you.